folks are talking about a general strike. And, I mean, there's a lot of talk about a general strike, but there needs to be real action items here. Laura, you're involved in DSA, you are involved with labor, you're a labor leader. Where would you start if these are some of the major industries that are being affected on the front lines? Where would you start in terms of a general strike?
I mean, that's a huge question. I love it, though. I love this question. I have to say, I love talking about strikes. I mean, there's no getting around it. I think that just calling for a general strike right now, it's unrealistic in the sense that, we haven't seen something like that before in this country. We've started to see like the reemergence of strikes, starting with the West Virginia teachers strike in 2018. And even before that, the Chicago teachers strike was sort of like the precursor to a lot of this activity. But, I think we still have a ways to go. I mean, I think honestly, it's, focusing at the shop floor, it might seem sometimes unglamorous talking about general strike, that is the glamorous thing to talk about. That is, I'd much rather be talking about these large scale strikes. But I think it really does start at the shop floor in terms of learning how to organize, just like the very basics, learning how to organize, learning how to move your coworkers into action together. We can't get there without starting with like the basic building blocks. And I think in so many places we're still there. I think the teachers and nurses are ahead of a lot of the labor movement in that sense. Like there's already been really, really strong long-term organizing going on, and we're starting to see the benefits of that, which is great. And I guess the last thing I'll say too, is that if you're inspired by the idea of a general strike, you have to be in it to win it. So you have to be, whatever your entry into the labor movement is, you have to be involved in it in some way, whether that be, I'm a rank and file carpenter myself, and a big advocate of getting involved as a rank and file member, but, be that as rank and file organizer, doing strike support, finding ways to support labor actions going on. So I'll leave it there.
Natalie, I mean, with that being said, okay, so we have thank goodness, a resurgence in the labor movement, and membership is up, and of course DSA chapters are exploding across the country. We know where we are, but there is this, as Laura just said, like there's a process of learning how to organize. Are we moving quickly enough? I mean, at this moment, we're 39 days away from an election in which it could be contested, even if it's very clear what the outcome is. I don't know. What do you think, Natalie?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a difficult question. As far as flight attendants go, having read a lot of headlines about flight attendants this week, I found myself feeling very thankful that their leader is Sarah Nelson, someone who, is a really robust progressive leftist who is largely credited with having helped stop the last government shutdown by suggesting that, maybe the flight attendants would use their labor power to stop going to work, which would ground all the planes, which would, set off a catastrophe that a lot of the Republicans were not willing to, a road that they were not willing to see where it led. And so I think that, overall, the people who are on the left, who are progressives, who are involved in the labor movement, I think have an important role to play. Personally, I'm not a unionized worker. So, as Laura mentioned, I think that my role is more, supporting workers who are able to withhold their labor effectively in any way that I can, whether that's through strike support, whether that's through, signal boosting or anything else I can do. And just being part of the movement generally, so that when, a call goes out, to be able to mobilize, to be able to get feet on the ground.
Thanks for watching and listening to The Nomiki Show. But remember to click like and subscribe on YouTube, and please share on social media. If you're not already a patron, please join us for as low as $5 a month on patreon.com/The Nomiki Show for early and special content. That investment makes a huge difference. We are not corporate media raking in the dough. It's really you guys that are keeping us going. So please consider being a patron. And to our current patrons, thank you so much. We are incredibly grateful to you. We also now have swag. So check us out on thenomikishow.com to get your mugs, your totes, and your stickers.